Yo, what's poppin'? Welcome to Bhroman Braapsody. This is where we review cars and motorcycles. I'm the host of Motorcycles, the punk does the cars. Today we're back at Indian Motorcycle Greensboro with guess who? It's the sensei. It's Monty Hendricks. How are you, man? How are you?
Bro, man.
It's always a pleasure being here. So what do we have in front of us?
This is a customized 2018 Chieftain. We recently took this bike in on trade and it is just loaded. A good friend of the dealership had this bike. He spent a ton of time and energy prepping this bike out. Loved the bike, but decided he wanted to hop onto a brand new Challenger. So we worked out a trade deal and that's how this bad boy got on the showroom floor.
Awesome. So this is a 2018 Indian Chieftain Limited. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about this bike, see some of the features, see some of the customization. We're going to hear from Monty about a couple of things that's been done to this bike. And then I'll take it out on the road, share my thoughts with you guys. I'm excited to be riding a bike with a big bore kit, talk about the cost of ownership, and assign it a Bhromance score. But before we do any of that, if you're new to Bhroman, give us a like and hit that subscribe button. We put out content every week, and your support would mean a lot. It's me, it's your boy Bro, and I am your Broman.
Starting off from ergonomic standpoint, it does have a set of the mid-rise bars have been added. Custom style seat. This is a Chieftain, so it came back and added the trunk, which was really cool. Most everything that's on here are Aiken accessories. Aiken for aftermarket really is nice. The stuff is fit and finish is nice, plug and play. So just a load of things. I mean, everything from the custom floorboards, for the rider and passenger. Of course, added the front and the rear highway bars. It's just dripping with the Aiken stuff. And then coming back on this side, even on the saddlebags with the Aiken hinges, and then also with the Indian saddlebag guards. So I mean, it is loaded down on terms of just the chrome and the ergonomics, Aiken highway pegs. I mean, every time I look around, I see something I missed.
Those were for the looks and stuff.
Looks and so forth.
There's some things that have been done to it for performance and function, right?
Correct. So performance-wise, this rascal is super hot. It did start out as a Thunderstroke 111 engine, and then the Indian Motorcycle 116 kit was added.
Which is the big bore kit. Right?
Which is the big bore kit. So it had the 116 big bore kit right from the get. And I mean, we all know that kicks up the power where you can pull the front wheel off the ground on a Chieftain. So as if that wasn't enough, the former owner went ahead and did a cam job on it and brought it up to the Lloyd's 585 cams, which is their racing cam. And then to help mitigate that power and make sure it was coming on at the right place smoothly, the Power Vision tuner was added. So this really has a lot of hotness going. And of course, before any of that's done, a prerequisite of that is a nice slip-on, which this has a Vance & Hine turn-down pipe. And then we also have the Lloyd's Big Sucker air breather over here. So it's getting a lot of air in, it's getting a lot of air out. It's cammed up. The base tune on it, of course, is the Stage 3 performance tune that comes with the big bore kit. And then the Power Vision was added on top of that. So it's got a lot of pop and pull. I noticed when I rode it, it pulls really strong off the line, and the power is kicked up throughout the RPM range. In terms of the Thunderstroke, you start off with the 111, and that's your entry point. The next step up from that would be a factory 116 in terms of power. Okay, now of course that's going to have the stock exhaust, stock breather, stock cams, that sort of thing. A step above that actually is going to be a bike that started out as a 111 and got the 116 big bore kit, because it's now going to have in it, you're going to have already done the exhaust, you're going to have done the breather, you're also going to have the big bore Stage 3 cams are going to be in there along with the Stage 3 performance map. One step above that would be the bike that came from the factory at the 116 that you come back and you do the exhaust, the breather, and the cam kit in it. So that's kind of how it goes. It goes 111, 116, 116 big bore, factory 116 with all the goodies added. And then of course, it's kind of hard to place a bike like this. Of course, is going to be another whole step that's had a cam job and a tuner where it's been on the dyno and specific to the way this bike's set up. So that kicks it up a whole other notch.
So that's a fun way of Indian to have their customers, you want more power? Sure, get this. You want more power? Sure, get this.
There's always a way to kick it up a bit.
Get up a bit, and there's nothing wrong with that. How much power is enough?
Right.
A little more.
Yes, yes. Well, and people say that, you'll hear folks say, well, the speed limit's 55. And a lot of times people are saying it, they don't understand that it's not always when we're talking power on two wheels, it's not just about how fast can you go. Sometimes the speed limit is what you're looking at, is how quick can you get to it.
Get to it.
And there are some practical aspects of that. I mean, certainly people that ride in certain environments, they need to be able to merge and so forth. So always in this shop, we're always telling folks, whatever you're going to do, if you're looking at kicking up the power a little bit, let's make sure it's usable power.
Yeah.
Let's make sure it's usable power, and let's make sure it fits your riding style. And sometimes we have that conversation with folks, they walk away from it and go, you know what? My bike Stone Cold Stock is exactly what I need. The power that's there, this particular bike does have that aggressive look that kind of goes with it, because it does have a fat tire kit up in the front. That's why you'll see the fender is a little bit different. It's a wider fender because that is a fat tire up in the front end. And it just really matches this bike because it does have the classic style front fairing. So this is more of the original fairing like you saw on the original Chieftains and Roadmasters. And that, I think that fat tire kit matches this fairing really, really well. And then like I say, with the trunk added in the back end, it's a beefy machine, both on the power and on the look of it.
Well, Monty, we've been talking about this bike. You mind if I do a quick walk around and show some of these cool features?
Please.
It has the classic Chieftain front fairing. And check out this. This is the custom fender, the fat tire kit. Haha. And this bike has a 25-degree rake angle. What's a rake angle, you ask? Well, draw perpendicular from the steering mount. Follow the fork tube. That's your rake angle. Shorter the rake angle, the more nimble the bike is, and larger the rake angle, the more stable it is at higher speeds, highway speeds, and such. Moving on top to the fairing, it's got this like little beak-looking thing that I like to call. That's an aftermarket piece. You have a windshield. This can go up and down. And coming down to the side, you see that big 116 logo there. That's the big bore kit. And it's got the high flow breather there, the air intake, a nice little medallion down below, custom floorboards, custom highway pegs, custom gear lever, custom passenger pegs, custom seat, and look at this paint. I love this color. I love this color. Now this is a Chieftain. This does not come with the tour pack. This is again an add-on that was added later on, the same that you get on the Roadmasters. You get a power outlet here, and it's got a light on top. And this is pretty big, deep, and spacious. You can fit 2 full-face helmets. Looking at it from the back, the 2 turn signals, tail light, brake lights on, the tool pack. Moving along to this other side, it has more aftermarket parts here on the saddlebags, the hinges, the guards. As for the saddlebags, I like these style of saddlebags that open up. Pretty big, decent storage space. You also have a power outlet in this right saddlebag. Pretty cool, and these are central locking saddlebags. This is your horn cover. This is that clear clutch. You can see the cam chains doing their thing. Custom floorboards, custom brake lever as well. That's the view of the cockpit. And as for your controls, on your right hand side, you have your kill switch and the starter button. Cruise control, and this moves the windshield up or down. And on our left side, you have horn, passing lights, high beams, turn signals, hazards. That's to toggle through your music and menu. And here you have your driving lights, and you have the power button. Once you turn it on, you get that little funky Indian screen. It's a touch screen. This is a 2018, so this has the older UI. The newer ones are white. On the left-hand side, you have your speedometer, and you can toggle between miles per hour or kilometers per hour. Fuel gauge and the fuel range, and you have lights for cruise control, left turn signal, high beam, neutral, fuel indicator, and side stand. On your right-hand side is your tachometer with lights for error messages, tire pressure, engine oil, battery, right turn signal, ABS, and check engine. And down here, you get which gear you're on and your odometer. In the center is your infotainment screen. You have 3 preset options here. You can toggle through them. And these are all customizable, so you can customize it if you wanted to. And let's say you want the trip here, so you press on that and that brings it up. You have your music, you can pair your phone or use navigation. And this turns it off, infotainment screen off. And on the top, you have a little storage space. with a USB power outlet. And if you use the button here, this moves. Double tap, it goes all the way down. Double tap up, it comes up all the way. Cool. And this bike is listed for sale here at Indian Motorcycle Greensboro. I'll put their website link in the video description below. But can you tell us a little bit about Indian Motorcycle Greensboro?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So Indian Motorcycle Greensboro, really one of the first Indian dealerships in the world under Polaris. We opened up very early in 2014. Indian had released the new line of Indian motorcycle bikes in 2013 as 14 models, and that came at the end of 13. Sturgis was where the release date was, and we opened up not too long after that. And we've been hard at it, and actually I do want to mention to your readers, we are getting ready to actually relocate about 13 miles up the road, and we're going to be relocating into our second showroom at our sister store, World Class Power Sports High Point, and we're very excited about that. It's a very modern facility. We're going to have a big parking lot, about 1.5 acres of land, so we can have events and so forth. It's going to be a great thing for us and our customers both.
And if you come down here, who should they say send them?
Well, I always say Bhromance sent you.
Yeah,
for sure.
Just tell them the Bhromance sent you, and you'll be taken care of. Oh. Do you happen to know what time it is? My watch isn't quite working.
I think it may be right o'clock.
It's right o'clock. Let's go. If you're new to Bhroman, give us a like and hit that subscribe button. We put out content every week, and your support would mean a lot. Oh yeah. Let's get this down and let's go. So let's do our first test. Let's make a couple of U-turns and see how this thing handles, shall we? Huh, not bad. Not bad, not bad. Not bad at all. Which brings us to our second test. The pull test. Let's see how this puppy pulls, shall we? Yeah, those big bore kit for the win. I love the 116, man. I love the Thunderstroke 116. Yeah, boy, the sound. Oh my God, it's amazing. What about the first impressions? Well, I love the sound, I love the up and go, and I love it, man. It's just awesome. But about the seating position, well, I am quite comfortable here. I have this big fairing right in front of me. There's all of this good stuff here. I have a fairing with the windshield, the infotainment screen. This is nice. As for these handlebars, these are the mid-rise handlebars, so they are like mini apes. The arms are nice and relaxed of sorts. This has a single disc on the front because of the fat tire. Let's check it out. Okay, pretty decent. Now, I am 5'10", 31-inch inseam, and I can flat-foot it very easily. Very, very easily. No problemo. The seat is very comfortable, you guys. The seating position is awesome. Look at those floorboards, they are huge. And at the end of the day, it's a Chieftain. It's the Indian Chieftain. The Chieftain is to Indian what the Street Glide is to Harley. So it's your bagger, the tourer. It's got hard saddlebags. And now in the 2018 model year, the stock weight would have been 850 pounds. This has the big tour pack, so I'm guessing this is pushing 900. But that's not a problem with this big bore kit and all the power, which is just intoxicating. It is just intoxicating. You can ride along, feel all of this power. This is awesome, man. This is really, really, really awesome. The sound is amazing, and just overall, it's just awesome. I'm lost for words here. As for the big front tire, it's a big fat tire, sure, but this has a lot of power. Passing somebody, no need to downshift. Just give it some gas, a little twist of the wrists, as they say, and boom.
You guys have to be careful with this, man. It's so easy to get into trouble with this. It's just intoxicating. I'm lost for words here. And just check out that chugga 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 sound, man. That thing is amazing. I love the V-twin chugga chugga. Always have. These aftermarket mirrors, man. You can see a little bit out of them, not a lot. I'd rather have the stock Indian mirrors, the big teardrop ones. And as for the handling now, the balance is really good on this bike. Even with that big fat tire, I know I keep going back to that. Now, with the big tire though, it looks really good. It's form, of course. It's form over functionality. So you will feel the need to push the bike a little more, give it a little more of a nudge around corners than you would on a bike with the stock tire, or the Chieftains with the stock tire. Let's make this U-turn and see. Now the stock Chieftains are one of the best handling motorcycles from Indian. Now let's go. Go, go, go. Little more, little more, little more. Yeah, there you go. That's good. Is this a good bike for commuting? Or would a Chieftain with the Stage 3 kit be a good bike for commuting? Yeah, sure. I mean, it's got saddlebags. The seat is really comfortable. A very good amount of wind protection on top for your head, torso, upper body. No problem there whatsoever. I love the balance of this bike as well. So yep, definitely good for commuting. Would this be a good bike for touring? Well, this is a motorcycle from the touring class of Indian. So yeah, you see up front you have the windshield that's blocking air. We don't have much for the lower legs, for the lower body, lower legs. But you could also get those lowers like the Indian Roadmaster has. Then you have speakers here. Since this has a trunk, you get 4 speakers. There will be 2 in the front, 2 in the back. So yeah, you could listen to your music, check out your navigation on this infotainment screen. And when you're passing folks on the highway, no problemo. Especially with this big bore kit. I love 116s. But yeah, definitely this is gonna be amazing for touring. How about beginners? Would a heavily modded Stage 3 kitted Chieftain be good for beginners? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. In its stock form, it puts out a good amount of power. It weighs over 850 pounds and costs close to $30,000. So it's not a good beginner bike in its stock form, and in its heavily modified form, it's putting out even more power. It's a little bit more heavier, and although this is going to be a used bike, it's still not going to be a cheap buy. So combine all of those together, yeah, this is not a beginner bike. Nope, no way, Jose. Not a chance, Lance. Nope. What about the cost of ownership? Let's head to the punk and talk about it.
The Chieftain requires a service every 5,000 miles or a year, whichever comes first. And the tires on this motorcycle should get you about 10,000 miles. A lot of it is going to depend upon how hard you ride it. The service at your local Indian dealership should cost you about $300. And the tires on this motorcycle, given that it has that fat front tire, should be about $650 for the pair front and rear. Your maintenance over a 2-year period, assuming you ride 5,000 miles a year, is going to be 2 services and a set of new tires. That's a total of $1,250. Divided by the number of days, it's $1.70 a day. Let's assign it a score, shall we? On the looks, it's a 9 out of 10. On the Braap, with all the work that's been done, it's a 9 out of 10. On the maintenance, it's an 8 out of 10. And on the comfort, it's a 9 out of 10. For a combined Bhromance score of 8.75 out of 10.
So in conclusion, this is a 2018 Chieftain Limited. However, this is heavily modified with the Stage 3 kit, all sorts of cans, tuners, breathers, exhaust, a whole bunch of chrome accessories on it. It's got a big tour pack from the Roadmaster, tons of storage space, a very comfortable bike, not at all good for beginners. This should be great for road trips, touring long distances, or just, chugging along town. Yep, so this would check off your boxes. The biggest difference between a Chieftain and a Roadmaster is the absence of a tour pack and the lower fairings. Now in this form, this is pretty much the Roadmaster minus the fairings, and I quite like this bike. Now, if you've been looking for a Chieftain, an Indian Chieftain with the Stage 3 kit, and you're in luck, this very motorcycle is for sale at Indian Motorcycle Greensboro. Come on down, check him out. And if you do, tell them the Bhromance sent ya. Keep your knees in the breeze, guys, and I will see you next week. Bro out.